All right, so hi guys, and welcome everyone to this session organized by the Google Developer Student Club of IEM. Today's session is all about resumes, and I don't think I need to explain how important they are. Resumes are the first thing that an interviewer notices about you, and the way you present them says all about you. Saying this, our speaker for today is Attri Ghoshal. Otrida is currently working in Swiggy as an SDE and has cracked several companies like Goldman Sachs, etc. Without much ado, Otrida, the stage is all yours.
Hey everyone, welcome to the session, and thanks to you. Thanks for having. Thanks to the entire Google Developer Students Club of our very own college, Institute of Engineering and Management. I'm so glad to be a part of this program. So these are the kind of things that we missed in our times. Um, we didn't have somebody to tell us. How to put up our resume, how to put up our LinkedIn profile, so that we get the traction that we need. Once we go into the job hunt, and these guys are actually doing amazing things. So they are calling people from all over the industry, the alumni, and all of whoever is there in their contact list. And it actually gives me a lot of honor to be in here today. So thanks everyone for joining. So what will be looking primarily today is on resume and some bit of LinkedIn profile building. Okay. So yeah. So before I go into that, I'll give a 2 minutes brief introduction about myself. So I'm O3, and I am a software engineer. I'm currently working in Swiggy as SDE-1. So prior to this, I was also working in some telecom domain, where I was dealing with 4G, 5G data. I was actually writing 5G protocols and dealing into a lot of telecom stuffs. But then I thought of exploring few more domains, and seeing few other domains, how technologies work there. So I thought of why not switch my domain and go to some other places. So while I was was going to start the job hunt, right, I faced a lot of problems myself. First is the preparation. What to prepare, how to prepare, and then once you are prepared, how to showcase that, what you are, who you are, what you have inside. Okay. And all those stuffs, right? So, and there was very few resources that I can take help from. And yeah, so I have to research a lot, I have to dig deep, I have to do all sorts of crazy things to find out what is the right thing to do, what is the right way to show what I have inside, or what I'm capable of, right? Now, yeah. So hats off to these guys who are actually putting up so much effort to let you all know about that. But when I say about job hunt, all right, so resume is something that's the entry point to it, right? That's the entry point that will, once you put an application in, uh, that is going to so what are you going to put as an application? It's your resume, right? And that resume should have all about you, and so that the recruiter understands who you are, what you do. Then the hiring manager understands who you are, what you do. And then and only then you're going to get interview link, right? So being the entry point to your job search, resume is, I think, one of the most top priorities. So without further ado, let's see how we can build an effective resume, the do's and don'ts. And yeah, so let's get started. So yep, there we go. So When I talk about resume, okay, I definitely don't need to say what a resume is, but just for your ease, it just sentence, it tells who you are, what you do, what kind of skills you have, what kind of achievements you have, and what is uh, your you know what is your worth, what is your capability. So your resume should be something that portrays you completely. Okay, your resume should be something that describes who you are. Now, yeah. So when you actually put a job application, one of the mandatory things you need to put into is your resume, right? Now, before we go into the do's and don'ts of the resume, let's understand what is the ask, what companies look for in the resume, and even before that, who all in the company actually goes through your resume, right? So ideally, there are three stages, from the top, right? Once you put your resume, it actually goes inside a system. Okay, everything is automated today, and the recruitment process is also kind of automated. So it's not a physical paper, it's a document, it's a file that actually goes into some system that keeps track of all the applications that are made through. Now, when I talk about big companies, the top tech companies like Amazon, like Flipkart, like you have Microsoft, Google, and even the startups that are doing good these days, like Swiggy, like Zomato, and Cred. Okay, so for each position, they have around at least 200 to 500 applications. So it's important that your resume stands out of them, right? So when I say that, who all is going to judge you, who all is going to rank your resume among the 500 applicants? So first of them being the application tracking system, which is the ATS basically. So when you apply for a job and you upload your resume, it goes into the application tracking system. And what this application tracking system does is it scans through your resume. Now, when it scans, it picks up keyword from the resume, right? And these keywords describe, maybe your skills, maybe your hard skills, soft skills, okay? And then they use these keywords to map to the job description. Now, if you ask me about what job description is, so usually for a job, there are certain responsibilities, there are certain bars that are set, and you need to meet those in order to go through. Now, a job description has a list of checklists, right? You have to be this, you have to know this, you have to know, let's say if I take an example, you have to know Java, then you have to know some framework like Spring Boot, then you have to know some, cloud framework like AWS, okay? And this is part of the job requirements. And what it tries to do is tries to match those keywords in your resume. Now, when it tries to do that, of course, the ones that has higher matches will be ranked higher, right? So the spotlight is on the fact that give them the resume that they want, not the one you have. Okay, so when you are applying for a particular job, look at the job description very closely and try to put as many keywords of that job description that you can in your resume, right? Now, let's say if it is asking for Java, so at least in some place you should have the keyword Java. If it's asking for Spring Boot, and if you have experience in Spring Boot, then you should definitely put Spring Boot as one of the keywords in your resume, and that would make you getting a higher rank. The probability would be higher for you, right? uh, Now, other than indexing words or other than matching words, what all ATS really does? Okay, so ATS if you look at these points, ATS really parses through your resume, right? So if you are trying to do some, random images, if you are trying to put designs, colors and all the stuffs, those are good for view. But remember, once it comes out of the ATS system, it's all text. Okay, it's just scanning of the text, picking up a particular text, and then matching it with the JD. Okay, it's good to put images, it looks decorative, but there's no use of it. Okay, so if you are trying to put your image in the resume, I would strictly vote against it, because it won't add any value. Nobody is going to judge you by your face. And the other thing is that it is going to take up space, and in that space you could have put up, a soft skill that, a leadership skill that you have, and that would, further increase your chance to get through into the interview, right? So definitely no to images, no to any kind of images. And even if you are putting designs, put it as minimal as possible. Okay, so that while getting through the ATS, while parsing through the ATS, it doesn't get too trimmed out, right? Now, the keywords thing. So the keywords thing I've been telling from the beginning only. So just look at the job description, pick up few keywords, find out which is common in you, right? And try to incorporate those keywords in your resume, in wherever place possible. Okay. Now the next thing is that job titles. So if a job description is asking for software development engineer or software engineer, right? So if you put some of your experiences that you have in that particular field, that's going to help. Okay, so even I think most of you are students right now, so you won't have previous experience, but at least you have some interning experience, right? You might do an internship in some org, and do include it there. Okay, when you put software development engineer intern, right? So there's a match in software development, in the term software development. That again increases your chances of being ranked higher. Okay, now the next thing is hard skills. So hard skills again comes under that thing like Java. Then let's say a particular job description is asking for Java. Somebody else is asking for Python. Somebody is asking for CI/CD. Somebody is asking for AWS or any cloud platform, and things like Docker, Kubernetes, and all those stuffs. Not going into too much detail, but if you are confident about those, at least if you have some knowledge, and you think that you'll be able to begin with those, I mean you'll be able to somewhat work with those, do put it. Okay, you don't have to be 100% confident in a topic or in a particular skill uh, to add it to your resume. Even if you have at least 25% confidence, do try to put it. That will add a lot of value. That will add a lot of value. Cool. Moving forward, standard headings. So when I call standard headings, it's like there will be different portions in your resume where you're going to put few different details, right? I'll go to a resume. I'll take a resume and explain it to you. But specifically speaking, first you'll have your educational qualifications, then you will have a section for your skills, then you will have a section for your experience. And in that experience, if you have a professional experience, that's well and good. But if you don't, you can put your internship experience, and that matters a lot. When you go for your first job interview, first full-time job interview, internship matters a lot. So you should put your internship under your experience as well. And then comes some achievements, and in those achievements you have to put any minor or major thing that you think can be put. Okay, be it very simple, be it very minor, but still put it, it will still add your value. Okay, but of course have your priorities. You have to identify which should go first, which should go next, and accordingly after sorting you should put them. I'll give an example, but that's the high level idea of it. And one more thing, avoid tables, avoid columns, headers, footers. Okay, so the reason is the ATS has a tendency to trim out headers and footers, and when you give something like a table and a column, it fails to parse it. So all the data, I mean all of them should not fail, but some of them might fail, and you don't know what ATS the company uses. So why to take the risky path, right? So just ignore using tables and columns. So if you try to do that, what it's going to do is it's going to fail to parse it, and it would miss that whole data that you had put in there, that could have cost you a lot, right? So again in this picture, for ATS, we understood what is the ask for the ATS, what is the do's and don'ts for the ATS. Now let's look at what the recruiter looks at, what the recruiter wants, what the recruiter wants to see, right? So the first thing is, again, after filtering through the ATS, let's say there were 500 applicants, and after filtering through the ATS, the number came down to 200. So one recruiter is looking out for multiple job descriptions, is looking out for multiple positions, right? Now let's say if he or she is looking out for around 30 positions at a time. Now 30 into 200, you can imagine the number of resumes that he or she has to scan through, right? It's 6,000. Now if someone is scanning through 6,000 resumes a day, although that sounds somewhat illogical, but even if it's not 6,000, at least he or she views through 2,000 resumes a day. So why would he or she spend so much time on your resume? It has to stand out, right? So it has to be very precise, very specific, and it has to be catchy. Okay, so that in the first sight she gets or he or she gets what you are you fit for the job or not. Okay, so first thing, precise. The size of the resume should be 1 page, and when I say 1 page, it's not 1.5 page, neither 2 page, okay, and not even half page. It is exactly 1 page, and you have to figure out what to put in this 1 page, how to organize it. Okay. And the next point, formatting, actually talks about how to organize the data. So like I was talking about standard headings, right? So there are multiple headings, like your educational qualification, like your projects, like your publications, like your experience, like your skill set. All of those you are going to put in, right? Now you have to identify in which area you have a lot to write and which area you have less to write. Okay, you have to figure that out. Now that's something that's dependent on the individual. So each individual will have some greater weightage on some part of the resume, some lesser weightage on some part of the resume, and that would determine how much space it is going to take up in the resume, right? So accordingly you have to decide in what part of that 1 page you are going to put what, so that uh, the space allocation is optimized. Okay, now of course put what you are based at. Okay, if you are based at some leadership skills, if you are based at handling people, managing people, do put it, and recruiters ask for those. Even if you are put at some extracurricular activities, okay, like maybe stand up comedy, maybe singing, maybe dancing, that shows that you have the confidence of appearing at the stage. You have the confidence of speaking up in public, uh, letting the people know who you are, showing off your skills, right? So that's not a negative point, that's actually a plus point. But if you have something more to tell, which is kind of more technical. So you should definitely prioritize that. Okay, but if you think that you are lacking something, do put these qualities, do put these skills. It is going to matter a lot. And like I was saying, experience matters a lot. So this experience doesn't mean that you have to be an SDE, you have to be an engineer, a full-time engineer. It can be an intern. Even if you have, dealt with a very small project in a very small org, that also counts. Okay, that also uh, counts to your resume, right? Now you should definitely put, even if you have done a 3 months internship or a 6 months internship in whatever company it might be. Okay, don't shy away from doing this. Okay, that this can actually add to the value, right? And hard skills. So when I talk about hard skills, it's again like Java, Spring Boot, or in case of Python, there is frameworks like Flask and Django. And then in case of C++, you know uh, you can just put in whatever hard skills you are confident at. And even if you know 25% of that hard skill, put it. Okay, you never know what can seek attention, what can seek traction. This might this might you know lead you to another role. Okay, maybe not the role that you are looking for, but another role that requires those skills, right? So even let's say you are applying for a particular job description, and that job description is actually closed or filled up, right? But the recruiter is managing multiple job roles at a time, right? So if you put all your skills there, she might be able to map you to another job she's looking out for, and might reach out to you, regarding that. So do put everything you know. Okay, don't shy away from putting even the small things. Soft skills: if you have done a course in English, if you have done a course in communication, if you have done a course in German, Spanish, or any soft skill that you have done, do put it. Recruiters look for this a lot. Mm, it will help them understand your articulation skills, how you're going to interact with the team, how you're going to interact with the different stakeholders of the company, right? Now, coming to leadership skills, this is something that the companies look for um, as a long term attribute. Okay, so if you have the leadership skills, even if you are applying for a junior position, they are kind of sure that when you uh, climb the ladder, when you go to higher positions, you'll be effectively able to deal with this factors, right? So leadership skills is important. So what do I mean by leadership skills? So let's say you're holding a position in a club in the college, right? You're managing a few different events. Do put it. Okay, that actually adds a lot of value. Now teamwork and collaboration is one of the things that again recruiters look for. So ultimately you'll be working in a team, right? So if you have done something, attended a hackathon, done a project with the whole team, do put it. And put it in a way so that it effectively tells that you have worked with a team, you have collaborated with a team, right? And the most and the one of the most and the most important thing, to be honest, the contact details. You'll always have to put your mail ID, phone number, and if you have any other contact details. Else the recruiter sees it, you are qualified for the job description and you don't have any contact details. How is the recruiter going to reach out to you? So contact details is mandatory, right? So that's something that we cannot ignore. Now those are about the first two steps. Now once ATS approves you and the recruiter approves you, then it goes to the hiring manager. And hiring manager is basically the one that is hiring for a particular engineering team in the org. So only after he gives a nod to the recruiter reaches out to the particular candidate. So it has to have the traction from the hiring manager as well. So few things that matter is relevant skills. Okay, That's again hard skills, soft skills, a combination of those. I've already spoken about them, so not repeating again. And the most important but ignored point is don't exaggerate. Okay, don't become too excited and start exaggerating about things. Okay, just tell what you know, but put it in a manner so that um, so that they feel that this is the right person, this is the person they are looking for. Nobody will expect you to come learning 100%. So it's not that you have 100% in you and you are giving and you'll join the company and start delivering. It's not like that. You'll enter the company, you'll learn a lot, and you'll your rate of delivering will increase day by day. So tell what you know, but don't exaggerate. Okay, it's okay to be on the to be 25% confident rather than saying I'm 125% confident. Now, career progression, that's one more thing. Like, let's say if you have worked in an org for 2 years, right? That's a good thing. But if you are joining an org and leaving it in 3 months, that's not a good thing. Okay, so even if you have done that, there might be reasons to that. If you have done that, don't put it in your resume. Okay, that can bring a bad impact to the resume, and it might lead to rejection. Right? And the most important thing is result oriented. So don't write I have developed this applying Java. Okay, say that I have developed this using Java with, let's say, 99% accuracy or 95% accuracy. Okay, or maybe I have built a software that is able to take up huge load. Okay, so put it result oriented. You have built, you have used this thing, it's fine, but how does it stand out, and what value is it adding to the current society? Or even if it is not society, what value is it adding other than the existing products? Right, that's really important. Then the thing is social media accounts. Add your LinkedIn profile, add your lit code profile, add your code shift profile, and any other profile that kind of builds your character. Anything that builds your character, do add it, because that's something that the hiring managers definitely look for. They would definitely go into your LinkedIn profile and see who you are. Okay, so we have a session for LinkedIn profile as well, so we will see how to actually build a LinkedIn profile. But that's in short how a resume, I mean, these are basically the do's and don'ts of resume from 3 points of view. Okay, and what are the 3 items? The 3 items are the ATS, recruiter, and hiring managers who are actually going to approve or reject your resume. So it's a view from their perspective, not our perspective. So I hope this added value. But now let's look at example. Okay, so for instance, I've taken my resume. Okay, you can just take it as an example, and yeah, we can discuss this. Okay, let me know if it is visible. Yeah, cool. Okay, okay. So yeah, initially I was actually struggling to build things up, but I've tried to put in a lot of effort, do a lot of research, and then I was able to actually come here and build this kind of resume. I'm not saying this is 100% perfect. Nothing can be 100% perfect, but it's something that's actually has what in short is me. Right. Now, one thing that I always put is my educational qualifications. Now, usually it doesn't matter a lot if you are getting 8.2 or 7.5 or 6.6 or even 10, right? But if you have a good number, do put it. That can again give you a lot of scopes, right? uh, doing good in uh, doing good in academics is not something that recruiters look for, but if you have that, they appreciate it. You have higher chances of doing it. So that's why I've put it in a small corner. But at the very first, I'm bit confident about my CGPAs, my percentages, and all those. So I have put it at the very first, but still occupying a small space, so that I have space for my relevant experience as well. Then the point I was talking of, right? Social media accounts. Okay, one of the most important is the GitHub. It will show how how actually, what actually you are coding, what actually you are dealing with. So first point is, whenever you are doing a project, do upload it into the GitHub. Okay, make it public, do upload it in GitHub, and let other people see it. And once you have done that, you have a, what should I say, a public view of what you are doing. And when you attach that link, the hiring manager might go to your GitHub account and see what all you have done. Okay, might be you are solving lead code problems, you are solving code shift problems. Also try to upload those. That can add a lot of value. If you have a completely different solution of a particular problem that doesn't exist currently, that could be a game changer for you. LinkedIn, mandatory. Okay, nowadays hiring managers of every big company is definitely going to go into your LinkedIn profile and see all your achievements, rather all your skills, and uh, all of those nitty gritties. Now if you are doing certain coding in a certain coding platform like lead code, code chef, do tag your profile, do tag your profile there. Okay, give links to your profile. So if you look at it, these are all clickables. Okay, I mean, this is a JPG, but in my original resume, uh, this is clickable. It can actually lead to my profile in these websites. So it's like giving the hiring manager or recruiter just in front of his plate what he wants. He doesn't have to search, go to LinkedIn and search, go to GitHub and search. What I'm doing is whatever I understand that he's going to see, I'm just putting it in front of him in his plate. Okay, and all he has to do is just to click it and go and see. Right, now then, being a student, right, which most of we are, coursework is important. And the topics which are relevant to the job description is definitely something that you should put. Okay, don't think that it's part of the curriculum so it's not important to put it. Those are damn important to put. Okay, that would help you in the long run. So that gives the recruiter a view that this guy has learned it in his academics. Okay, so it is by default that he has learned those through a lot of depth. Even if you are learning computer architecture, that's a difficult topic. And we used to struggle a lot with the topic, but then we managed to learn a lot from that. So just put it. Okay, because it will add to the value. Okay, and try to put everything that adds to the value. Now when it comes to skills, right, so don't get freaked out by by all these words. It's uh, it, it's just that whatever skills you have, whatever technical skills you have, just try to put it. Okay, again, why did I put it here? For the for the ATS to parse it, for the ATS to parse it and match the relevant keywords with the job description. Okay. So Java, Python, and C++, or whatever programming languages maybe Scala, maybe Ruby, do put it. Okay. And cloud is something very essential today. So if you have some knowledge in some of the cloud platforms, do put it under cloud. Okay. Now, like I was mentioning, sectioning or using headers. right? That's what I have done here. I've scopified each of the things, each of the keywords that I use. So when I scopify each of the words that I use, it becomes easier for the ATS to understand what keywords am I talking of and what category they go under, right? And when the ATS is confident about that, it's you know you get your rank is higher. Okay. Now then, frameworks. So I understand Spring Boot Hibernate. If you understand Django, if you understand Flask, do put it. Then databases. This is a very important thing, because when you join a large scale org, you'll be actually working with a lot many databases. It's not one database, it's a collection of multiple databases. So try to put in as many databases as you know. And if you have one DBMS, one RDBMS, and one NoSQL database as part of your experience or part of your skill, that would be the best combination, right? Now, yeah, and if you are, let's say, 50% confident, or even 35% confident, or even 25% confident with some of the things, right? Like I have done very small amount of Android app development, but I have put it. Okay. That's something that I'm not 100% confident with, but I've put it just to gain traction. So if somebody is looking for Android app development, I might get an opportunity there as well, right? Now, operating system, this is something that if you wish to put, you can, but if you don't wish to, you cannot. You can also skip this. So I have put it just to just few job descriptions ask for OSs as well. Somebody would ask Linux, somebody would ask Windows, but most of the job descriptions usually ask for Linux. So just to include that keyword so that it it matches with a lot number of what should I say, job descriptions. I've put it here. Now tools is something like that you use, and you might have used, if you have worked with machine learning or data analytics, you might have used Jupyter Notebook. Now if you have worked with some Elasticsearch database, you must have worked with Kibana. Then Jira is a project management tool. Then any IDE that you have worked with, you are confident in, you can put it here. And if you have worked with some other softwares uh, that actually helps you, like Packet Tracer, it's used to build up virtual networks. So if you don't understand what it is, fine. But if you are working with any tool that you think is that you think will be valuable, just do add it. Okay. And these are some packages used, so just to let the recruiter know that I have some experience with some machine learning and analytics packages. I've put it here. Okay. Now experience, I'm not going into too much detail. So yeah, it should start in the descending order of date. Okay. So currently I'm working with Swiggy, so I've put Swiggy here. Okay. Previous to that, I was working with Rebecca Technologies, where I was working in with 4G and 5G data, so I've put it here. And prior to that, I was also working as an intern. So you see, like, even after having 2 years of experience, I haven't removed the intern part, because that's damn important. Okay. It's really important to show what you have done. And projects, as a fresher, this is mandatory. Okay. Try to build a project, try to invest 3-4 months into it, and do put it. This will help you a lot. So what is project aimed at is to show that you have built the end to end flow, that you have built a complete application, right? That gives a sense of delivering tasks to hiring managers, that you have fully completed a project. That will give the hiring manager an impression that once this guy takes up a project, he completes it and ensures that it is functional end to end, which is damn important. Now after projects, you should definitely give achievements. Now when you give achievements, you have to be precise in sorting, right? Which is more relevant, right? So for my role, uh, AWS is more relevant, so I've put it at the first, right? Then I thought, data structures and algorithms is something that shows you how quickly or how efficiently or effectively you are able to solve a particular problem. So I've put my coding site rankings there. Then something that would show me that I've competed with students and I've got a certain position, I've achieved a certain position, to showcase that I've put this particular point. Okay. And going by the following, I have some certifications that I did while in college, so I've put all of those. Okay. Then also, I have put my publications here, so only one publication. It might add to value, it might not, based on the role, but yeah, that's it. But I also wanted to put some leadership qualities, because I during my college days I put a lot of effort in organizing events, in organizing cultural fests, in organizing freshers welcome, and yeah, alumni meet and all those kind of things. I wanted to put those things here, but the thing is that I was running out of space. Okay. And I thought that those are more relevant for a higher role, higher position role. So I had to ignore that and I had to put these things. Okay. But if you get scope, do include leadership qualities, and that matters a lot. Cool. That was a lot. I spoke a lot about resume building. Let's see some of the questions that we have.
Okay, Atrida, so that was an amazing session. And before we move on to the next segment, we have a couple of questions, as you said. So I'll just I wouldn't let you take the pain of looking up the questions and answering. I'll just read it out to you.
Sure.
Uh, so the first question that we have is that okay. So should we make custom CVs for every job application, as in reference to the keywords?
Yes.
Okay.
If you want that job, you have to put in that effort. You have to for each chat, you sorry, for each job you're going to apply to, you have to put some effort to actually rebuild your CV. But one hack is that build your CV in such a way that it covers a huge number of, or a group of job descriptions together, so that the change you have to do is minimal, right?
Okay.
So if you look at this CV, okay, I have all Python, Java, and C++ mentioned here. And since I was applying for a Java role, I have put in most of Java. But what I would do if I have to apply for a Python, if I'm applying for a Python role, I would just switch my the work done into Python based work, not Java based work. I would give more emphasis on the works done using Python rather than using Java. Okay. So definitely we have to create customized CVs for each job application that we make.
Hmm. Okay. So coming up next, we have how often should one refresh their CVs or resumes?
6 months. 6 months is the ideal time. And
Okay.
when you do, you ensure that you have included everything.
Hmm. Hmm. Okay. Before we go on to the next question, there is one personal question I want to ask. Is that
Mhm.
we tend to provide our CGPAs, our exam scores in the CGP. How important is that? I mean, do recruiters actually get biased when they see a higher ranking student and they choose them, or is it relevant enough to put our exam scores there?
uh, Single sim thumb rule: if it's good, put it; if it's not, don't put it. Okay.
Okay.
It
Okay.
doesn't matter to the recruiter. If you have
Hmm.
a very good approach to technical side, if you have done a lot in coding, if you have done a lot in development, highlight those. You don't even need to put your ranks, you don't even need to put your CGP. But if it is something
Okay.
good, it is worth showing, don't shy away from showing that. It's definitely a
Okay.
plus.
So if it's worth flexing, then we put it. If it's not, then just skip that part.
Correct.
Okay. So another question that we have is that in reference to certifications, should we add our course certification like upgrad, Coursera, edX, or whatever it may be?
Yeah, so if you look in this example resume, I have put NPTEL as well. Okay,
Hmm.
so anything you do that is going to add value to your job description or add value to your application in for that particular job description, feel free to put it. Like anything is is welcome, and anything that adds value will actually make you more relevant for that particular role.
Okay, cool. I guess that is yeah, that's it we had regarding in terms of questions, and I guess we'll move forward to the next segment, which is LinkedIn profile building. Okay, Atida, you
Well,
can continue.
sure. So I've pretty much surpassed the time, but points were important. So let's see. About, just give me a moment till I fix my screen. Okay, so that's how a LinkedIn profile looks like. Okay, this is the best example that I could take. So yeah, um, I mean. This is the only profile that I know. I don't work with LinkedIn too much, but yeah. So when you look at a profile, right, the first thing that comes is the name. Okay, so when you put your name, be specific. Put your first name, put your last name, and if you have a middle name, if it's a single middle name, put it. If it is extending to multiple names, don't put it. Don't clutter things. Okay, just try to keep it short and specific. Okay? Then comes the profile picture part. Okay, do put up a decent picture. uh, Profiles without picture don't get noticed. Okay, so there's this usual, I would say, our our habit. Okay, it's our habit or intuition that we don't take a look at those profiles that doesn't have a profile picture. So do put up a decent picture. And when I talk about decent picture, it should not be something like you're sitting with full sleeves, you're sitting with a laptop with all corporate look. It doesn't have to be that. It should be decent enough so that it portrays a good image of you. Okay, now then the most important part is this is called the headline. Okay, so if you click on this edit button, it will show up, and this is the headline. Okay, now I'll show you a small thing. Okay, I'll show you a small thing. So let's say I want to search AWS. Okay, and I want to go for people. That's what recruiter does, right? So when a recruiter will search for AWS, he or she will just search AWS, put AWS here, and press the enter button, and he would go to people, and all you see here has AWS in its title. Everyone has AWS in its title, right? So when I talk about the heading, when I actually talk about the heading, that's what determines ranking of search results. So for all the skills that you are 100% confident with, uh, put it in the heading. That's what, so when a recruiter searches, your headline is going to determine whether you are going to appear in the search or not. So definitely put it in the skills that you have 100% confidence in. Okay, now the next thing is that company name. Okay, this is not mandatory, but you can put it. This is not mandatory, but you can put it. And the reason that I have put it is because of the reputation that the company I'm currently working in has got. Okay, so um, if my company is having a good reputation in the market and people would accept me, accept me as a good engineer, since I'm working in a, you know, in one of the large scale startups, so it would actually add value to the job search, right? It would actually add value to the recruiter search. So if you think it is going to matter, put it, but not necessary, I would say. Okay, coming to the next section. Okay, and you know, there is this open to batch. You can put it but that's not something I would recommend. Okay, that's not something I should recommend. Okay, then about, this is a gist of what you are. This is a gist of what you are. It's not your skills. It's not your you know, it's not your expertise. It's something that you tell in a very intuitive form, what you like to do and what you are looking for. Okay, so it's not directly you know, demanding something or asking for something. It's something that is, you know, you show that you are interested in to work with. Okay, and what the recruiter will do is he or she will see your about portion, and he will try to map that with the culture of the org uh, that he or she is hiring for. If that matches, it's a hit, you're going to get hired. Okay, so it's more about the behavior you follow, the, you know, the, what should I say, the approach you follow to every task, or approach you follow in your life, in your every work that you do. Okay, try to put it as interests, not as your skills. Okay, uh, now the featured part. Okay, whatever you think is your achievements, your best achievements, do put it here. Okay, so if you had seen my achievements column in the resume, I have all of this. And what I've done is I've mapped my achievements to my featured ones, to my featured column in the LinkedIn. Now when I say achievements, don't put, you know, 10-15 achievements. Just put around 4 to 5, or you know, even 6 to 8 achievements, but 5 is the ideal number. Okay, so you can put 5 big achievements that you made, and you know, you can put a screenshot or, you know, a picture of it. So the reason is picture will give more intuitive value of what you're trying to portray. Okay, so if you have received an award like I'm have shown here, try to put in you know, a picture of it. That's actually going to matter. That's actually going to give the feel of what you have achieved. Okay, then the thing is that experience, do put in all the internships that you have worked in, or you know, if you have worked as a part time, or as a project intern, or you know, just as, you know, anything. It might not even be an intern, but just a part of the project. Do put it here. Do put all your positions. Even you can put your leadership roles, like if you are part of uh, you know, part of your music club or your dance club. You can put that uh, being a student, that will actually enhance your leadership qualities. Okay, so in experience you can put that, but it would be better if you are trying to put technical parts of it, right? Like internship in some technical org and technical company that you are doing. Anything that is relevant to your job search is perfectly fine. And for experienced professionals, we usually put all the experiences, other than, of course, if you have spent 2 to 3 months as a full-time employee in an org, we definitely tend to remove that. We definitely don't use that. That again leaves a bad impression. So we ignored that, but we put all the experiences that we have. Okay. Now education, this is damn important. Okay, you have to put the college, the school, or at least one thing you have to put. You have to put where you have qualified from. Rather than the where, what is more important is your degree. What is the degree you are holding? So if you are holding a bachelor of technology degree or bachelor of engineering degree, uh, just do put it, because recruiters and hiring managers judge a lot based on your degree. Although that should not be some of the criteria, but we have this bias. Okay, so college name is not that important, but it might add to value, because you have your college has alumni. If I'm talking specifically about uh, Institute of Engineering and Management, Kolkata, if you look at the alumni here, most of them have gone into big companies. Few of them have gone into international institutions, have become researchers, have become scientists. So it will actually add value to it. Okay, then school is not mandatory, you can put it. Okay, and I will tell you the sole reason that I've added it is just to show my academic excellence. Okay, uh, it's not something to hide. Okay, if you have good scores, do definitely put it. That's something that again is going to add value. Okay, but if you think that is not something worth showing, don't show it. Nobody is going to ask for it. Okay, what matters is the skills. Okay, now those who are asking for license and certifications, this is something that you should definitely put in here. Okay, so I've done four courses from four recognized websites, and I have put it here. And any course you keep doing further, just put it here. And also try to do any credential ID or issue date. Try to put as many details as possible that would prove the validity of that license or certification. Okay, and of course don't fake anything. Don't fake any license or certifications, because that's going to backfire on you. Okay? If you are asked in the interview for those about those licenses and certifications, it's going to backfire on you. But if you have done it, do put it with all details possible, just to validate it. Now skills, put all skills possible. Okay, now the sorting thing here is based on the number of recommendations that you get, or number of thumbs up that you get in here. So that's how it gets sorted. But you can definitely put all the skills that you have, and you should not only put technical skills. You can also put leadership skills like project management. So in during my college days, while I was working for this design lab, I was actually managing a project. And yeah, I have put it, and I've got 3 recommendations on that as well. So don't feel shy to put anything. Like, it should be technical, your soft skills, your even any leadership skills that you have, you can put. Okay, cool. Even a language that even competitive coding and data format you are comfortable with, feel free to put it. Try to populate this part as much as possible. You don't know which one helps you in the long run. Okay, and then there is this tech skill quiz part. Okay, so this is a feature given by LinkedIn. So if you are 100% confident in some of the topics, some of the skills you have mentioned, you can take a quiz in that topic, and LinkedIn is going to certify you on that. LinkedIn is going to give you a badge on that. That's something again to show off to the community, show off to the recruiters, and that can again that's a seal mark on your skills. So that's like, yeah, I know this and I've proved this. And if you are having a LinkedIn badge, that's something a validation, a certification uh, from an organized authority, right? That is going to give you a lot of value. Okay, So recommendations part is a little tricky, but let's say you have worked for an organization, you have interned in an organization. Okay, once that tenure is finished, involve your managers, involve your peers, or involve your what should I call, your mentors in the org, and ask them to give you a recommendation. Okay, this acts a lot of value. This acts a lot of value. If your manager, if your senior is praising you, that means that you are doing a lot of good in the team, and that actually portrays your teamwork, your efficiency in the team. That is also going to add a lot of value when a hiring manager runs through your profile, even a recruiter runs through your profile. Okay, and also try to give recommendations. So this would this would prove the fact that you are appreciative of others works. Okay, give recommendation to others. Okay, but don't give 10 thousands of recommendations. Try to give at least 2 to 3. Okay, in my case this is a lot lesser, and you can enhance it actually. 2 to 3 recommendations received and 2 to 3 recommendations given is does a lot of value addition to your profile. And then if you have a publication, do put it. And if you have done some courses, so if you look at these courses, this include my academic courses as well. Take AWS, then this is something that I did while being in Swiggy. Other than that, I have included all my academic courses. So this is directly taken up from my resume, my academic, my skills part, that I've directly taken up from my resume, and I've just kind of copy pasted. Okay, so you should have it all. You don't know which one gives you value when. So why not put it? Why not put a inclusive set of all of them? Cool. Projects, again, something that is mandatory. Even if it is a very small project, try to explain it in a very good words. Okay, try to pinpoint what you did and how it is different from others. So the last point, how it is different from others, is going to matter. Okay, try to focus on that. And when you focus on that, you actually beat the market. You actually beat 500 other applicants that is going to who is going to apply for the job. And don't think that I have filled the top of my profile, it comes at the bottom, so I don't need to fill it. Fill it as far as possible. Keep filling things. Okay, it will, what max can happen, the recruiter will not look at it, but if the recruiter looks at it, it adds value, right? So that's something that you should definitely add. Now, these are again some honors and awards that I received while being in college, while being in my previous org, and while being in my school. So I have added those. And test scores, yeah, of course. So I participate in coding conditions. Coding competitions. I used to participate, to be more specific. Nowadays it's hard, but then yeah. So I've put all major rankings that I've got in Lead Code, and even Google Kickstart, and even CodeChef. Okay, so yeah, that's in short how you can build your profile. And interest and companies part, interest part you can also customize. This is something specific to user, specific to individual. So I should not explain this, but if you are following a particular person, see how influential he is in the domain you are trying to find a job in. Okay, so yeah, that's it. So that's how you design a LinkedIn profile. And you don't leave an empty space, you don't leave an empty column. Add as much information as possible, uh, which is relevant to your job search, because you don't know which one becomes a game changer for you in the long run. Yep, handing over to Swapnil. You're muted. uh,
Very sorry. That happens quite often. Okay, so I guess yeah. So thank you, Atrida, for that amazing session. I guess people do have something to take home to today, and they look forward to what exactly needs to be done in terms of resume building and building their LinkedIn profiles. Apart from that, there's something, guys, we'll be doing is that we'll be having a resume review in our Discord servers. So I'll just put in the Discord server link in in the chat box. Okay, so I've put the Discord server link in the chat box, and this will be after this session, not right now. You guys can send in your resumes there, and Autrida will try to pick up some of the resumes and will review them. And yeah, so we know that the placement season is just around the corner, and also the second years might be it's time for them to take up internships, right? So yeah, that's pretty much it we had for today, and we'll be seeing you with a couple of more events in the coming few weeks. Also, yeah, that's pretty much it. And I guess yeah.
So
So, Otrida,
yeah,
thank you for giving us the time, and it was an amazing session, and it was amazing hearing what your experiences has have been throughout this session.
cool. So thanks for again, thanks for organizing this, and thanks for making people know what actually is important. And also, guys joining in, and even those who couldn't join, feel free to reach out to me. I'm always there to help. Okay.
We'll
Uh,
surely put all the connection links to Otrida in our description after this video ends, and you can connect to him. And if you have any queries, just reach out to him or to us. We'll surely try to answer them and do our best. So thank you,
sure.
guys. It was amazing having you today.
Thanks everyone for joining in. Thanks, Swapnil, for conducting so smooth. Thanks.
My pleasure.